So we'll chant Om 3 times, followed by the invocation shlokas. Om. Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Welcome everyone, as we are covering the Drg Drsya Viveka. The very first shloka is also Mangalacharanam. So we will chant Mangalacharanam. One of you please go unmute yourself and please repeat after me. Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drak
Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drak
Tadrishyam Druktu Manasam
Tadrishyam Druktu Manasam
Drishyadhivrittaya Sakshi
Drishya Divrittaya Sakshi
Drugeva Natu Drishyate.
Drugeva Natu Drishyate.
So in this shloka, what we heard is this is a Mangalacharanam, because even though there is no Bhagwan's name is not listed as Lord or Vasudeva or anything like that, the word Sakshi, where Sakshi is none other than Atma. Atma is none other than Brahman. So Sakshi is Brahman. So the Brahman name is taken as Vastu Nirdeshaka Vakya. So that means that we are talking about Sakshi, and by taking the name Sakshi itself, we are remembering the innermost God right within us. So with that, what did our first shloka say? Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Druk. That's how it started, right? So there is a Druk and there is a Drishya. Drishya is seen, and then Druk is seer. Anything that is seen is only possible if there is a seer. You might have heard it's actually a philosophical conundrum, and also it's a science conundrum, is if a tree fell down in forest and there was no one to witness it, did it make sound? So if no one heard it falling, did it make sound? It's an interesting question, because there are two ways to look at it. From a pure science perspective, sound is a vibration that is generated whenever two objects have come in contact or two objects have separated forcibly. So that vibration that has come out is independent of whether someone has heard it or not. From that perspective, if we define sound as that, then it has made sound. But on the other hand, if sound is understood as whatever I heard, whatever I can hear is what is sound, then if there is no hearer or listener, then there is no sound. Right? So similarly, like now, this at first, this seems to be somewhat like out of the way, as in what you call it as you are making up this stuff kind of a definition. This is not real definition. But think about it. When one of you say that either I'm husband of so and so person, or I'm wife of so and so person. So basically, I'm spouse of someone, right? So when is that you are spouse? Your spouse only when your spouse exists. If you are not married, then you are not spouse. So you get the role of being a husband or being a role of a parent only because your counterpart exists. So in the same way, in that aspect, if you see, there is no sound if there is nobody heard it. And similarly, anything that is seen is possible only if there is a seer. This is the philosophical viewpoint that we are taking. Now, with that idea, who is the seer? Now, in this shloka, I said, at the superficial level, eyes are the seer, right? And eyes, the lochanam, they are seer. However, their status as a seer is relative. So this relative aspect of seer, being a seer, is called as sapeksha. Sapeksha is, in this case, relative seer. That is the status that are given to these eyes. So, however, those eyes, what happened is that those eyes, drishyam, actually tat, if you notice, if you know a little bit of Sanskrit, it is singular. So how come eyes is using singular is because rupam drishyam lochanam druk, that lochanam, the word lochanam, is also used as singular. But usually we have two eyes. Why is singular used? Is because this is not talking about the physical eyes that we are seeing, but the power of seeing, which is jnanendriya, which is, okay, so when we say sparsh, what do you call it, like rupa, rasa, gandha, shabda, right? Like that, when we say, what happened is that rupa is experienced by, okay, eye. Okay, so that is a jnanendriya. Eye, chakshu, is different from the physical eyes. The physical eyes in our Vedanta are called as golaka. Physical eyes, physical ears, all of them are called golaka. So all the physical indriyas that we have, whether it is karmendriyas or jnanendriyas, they are kind of like receptacles in which this power, the faculty of all the jnanendriyas, such as ability to see, ability to hear, ability to taste, touch, etc., or karmendriyas, smell is the fifth one, karmendriyas such as like holding, holding or grasping with their hands. When we say legs, ability to move, like that, all of them are the physical apertures in which these capabilities or faculties are there. When it comes to the faculty of seeing, it is singular. The faculty of seeing is singular, whereas the number of apertures or the number of containers in which through which the seeing functions are 2. So here Lochanam is referring to that Jnanendriya. So Rupam Drishyam, Lochanam Druk, that is singular. So Tat Drishyam Druktumanasam, when it is said, that itself, that has become Drishyam. Which one? Lochanam has become Drishyam, so that the mind became seer. Again, the mind is also Sapeksha, because it is relative. Why? Whereas it is able to see what? It is able to see, or it is able to perceive whatever inputs, sensory perceptions are experienced through eyes, which is vision, tongue, which is taste, skin, which is touch, uh, nose, which is smell, like that, right? So it is able to get all of that, as it is a seer of all of those. However, in absolute sense, this is also not purest seer. So who is the purest seer? That is
Sakshi.
that is Drishyadhivrittaya Sakshi. Okay? So that this will become Drishya, and these vrittis of Dhi, meaning all the thoughts that are coming around in the mind, they are all seen by Sakshi, who is Druk alone. But never ever it becomes Drishya. So here, Druk is what we call as, sorry, the Sakshi is Nirapeksha Druk. The previous ones are Sapeksha, means they are relative seers. The final ultimate seer who never can become seen is Sakshi. Okay, so that is what it is given. So that is why Druk tu, there is a word tu in there, letter tu. Tu means however. In fact, even in some what called like in Hindi also, especially like the bookish Hindi, they say kintu is used. Tu is however. Okay, so this tu is used to explain that Sakshi is different from these other kind of seers that you have seen in before, which is Lochanam and Manas. Now, this is also be said as Vastu Sangraha Vakya. Vastu Sangraha Vakya means it is the essence of the entire text is being covered right in within this one. So how is that? That means that it has to give more and more about each portion of the each statement here. So Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Druk, that is going to be analyzed in the next shloka. So this is where we are going to start today. So if someone else wants to go off mute and repeat the shloka after me.
Number
2. So I'll break down the shloka, the words. Neela, Pita, Sthula, Sukshma, Hraswa, Dirgha, Adi. So there are 7 words put together in this one word, which we call as Samastapada. Okay, so Neela, Pita, Sthula, Sukshma, Hraswa, Dirgha, Adi. Bhedataha. Then Nana, Vidhani, Rupani. Then Pashe Lochanam Ekatha. So that is Pashet, Lochanam, Ekatha. There are 3 words in there. So they become Pashe Lochanam Ekatha. So please repeat after me. Neela Pita Sthula Sukshma.
नीलपीत स्थूल सूक्ष्म
Rasva Dirghadi Bhedataha.
ह्रस्व दीर्घादि भेदतः
Nana Vidhani Rupani.
नानाविधानि
नानाविधानि
रूपाणि
रूपाणि
Pashe Lochaname Tatha.
पश्ये लोकनन्दे इष्टता.
Pashe Lochanam Ekatha. So what is this shloka saying? Simple. Neela. Neela means blue. or black. So Neela word is used for both blue and black. Sometimes Neela Megha Shama, when you say, even now there are people who fight about the color of Lord Krishna. They say that no, Lord Krishna is black or Lord Krishna is blue, because we have never seen anyone who is blue. We only know black, dark colored skin people or light colored skin people. So Lord Krishna must be dark, and these guys just make it up as blue. That is one school of thought. The other school of thought is no. The word blue is used for Krishna or Rama not because we don't want to say that they are black. Rather, it is representing the blue is the color of sky, and color of sky is representing infinite. So whether it is Rama or Krishna, when they are shown, it is said as they are not finite people, they are infinite. To explain that, we are saying that their color is blue. Anyway, so Neela can be blue or black. Neela, Pita, there's no confusion about it. Pita means yellow. Sthula means small. Okay. Sthula means big. Sukshma means subtle. Hrasva means short. Dirgha means long, tall. So Sthula, Sukshma, if you think about on a graph paper, they are x-axis, and Hrasva, Dirgha are on y-axis. So Neela, Pita, Sthula, Sukshma, Hrasva, Dirgha. Adi, meaning etc. So here, when they said, it doesn't mean only two colors, Neela and Pita, all colors. Sthula, Sukshma means all sizes. Hrasva, Dirgha means big or small, tall or, it doesn't matter. Bhedataha, all these differences. Nana vidhani rupani. Nana vidhani means so many types of rupas are there. Rupas means forms are there. Okay? I understand that. So what? Pashet, however, Pashet lochanam ekatha. However, the one that is seeing all these forms, that is lochanam, that faculty of seeing, ekatha, alone, that is one only. In other words, so you got word by word meaning, right? Neela, Pita, Sthula, Sukshma, these are different varieties. So Sthula, Sukshma, Hrasva, Dirgha, all of these are varieties. These kind of Vedas are there. These are different types of Vedas, meaning different types of varieties are there in forms. However, the seer, one who is seeing, the eye is one and the same. So what does it mean? Is, again, here also you see, Lochanam Ekatha. You didn't say two eyes, it is one. Okay, that is again because it is talking about Indriya, not Golaka. Okay, so, and this word Ekatha in this text, you will see this Ekatha meaning one. Why this one is being emphasized is because it is pointing to one non-dual Advaita reality. The non-dual is same as Advaita. So, this Ekatha also is saying that it remains the same. Remains same means it doesn't undergo any changes. So that means there are you can make two things out of it. One is, I don't need different eyes to see red color and different eyes to see blue color. The same eyes can see multiple colors. That is number one. I mean, whatever we talked about colors, it is also true about big things, small things, etc. Second thing is, no matter how many colors are there, only one eye is enough. Okay, so that is the first point. And second point is that when I see something, my eyes are not going to be affected. If I see blue color, my eyes are not becoming blue. When I see big things, my eyes are not becoming big. When I see small things, my eyes are not becoming small. Well, you can actually question, you know what? I can disagree with you to a certain extent. What is that? When you want to see something small, don't you actually do eyes like that? Okay. So isn't like your eyes are they not becoming small? The physical eyes, the golakas are becoming small, but Indriya is not making is not undergoing any change. So the forms are changing, the scene is changing, but the seer is not changing. Now, then one more thing is that with respect to seeing and seen, seen is always outside and seer is inside. Seen is outside, seer is inside. Now, here, how do we, why are we doing all of this is, we want to identify, through this example of Drg and Drshya, we want to identify our own true inner self. Now, to track the true knower, okay, and if I actually track where is this true knower, true seer, then using that, I'm actually trying to track my own self. That is the purpose of this analysis. And how are we doing? Where are we starting? We are starting from what is known. We know the forms are there, and we know that eyes are seeing the form. From there, we are slowly going inside and inside to find that unknown. What was there a question? Sorry. So there are 3 rules in Drg Drsya Viveka. In case if you are interested, please make a note of them. Because these 3 rules, we are going to use it later today and in upcoming sessions also.
Okay.
Rule number 1 is seen is outside and seer is within. That is the rule number 1. Seen is outside and seer is within. Rule number 1. You're all in agreement with that rule? Any objections about it? Then rule number 2. Rule number 2 is seen are many and seer is one. There are seen is many or manifold and seer is only one. Now, in case if you have a question, right? With respect to forms outside, who is the seer? Eyes are the seer. With respect to that, mind is not the seer, only because the question may be, you said eyes are also seer, then mind is also seer, and then Sakshi is also seer. So aren't there multiple seers? From a final perspective, the Sakshi is the seer, but with respect to the forms outside, eyes are the seer. With respect to the inputs that are coming from sense organs, mind is the seer, like that. Okay, so that's why seen are many, seer is one. Any questions around rule number 2? Rule number 3. While experiencing this manifold or several different types of objects, the seer remains without any changes. Ekatha. They remain untouched. In Sanskritam, the word for that is nirvikara. It means they don't undergo any type of modification because of whatever is seen. So that was the summary of the second shloka, Nila Pita, right? So where there's just because I'm seeing so many things, it doesn't mean that I need different eyes or the eye has to undergo changes. Neither of them is happening. And eye is untouched by the scene. Again, if I was teaching to high school kids, they would ask, what if I throw a stone at your eye? Okay? So you're only hurting the physical eye, but not the faculty of seeing. Because whenever we make these kind of statements, especially like Vedantins, right, there will always be in in our Shastra, we have something called Purva Paksha. Purva Paksha means one who opposes. One who opposes primarily because what happened was this idea of Purva Paksha came from, in Vedanta, Darshanas, we have six schools of Darshanas, right? They start with Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purva Mimamsa, and Uttara Mimamsa. Now, Purva Mimamsa is dealing with karma, and Purva Mimamsa and Uttara Mimamsa together are dealing with Vedas. Purva Mimamsa is dealing with karma and Upasana aspect, and Uttara Mimamsa is dealing with Vedanta aspect, which is Upanishads. Now, karma and Upasana are opposed to Jnana. Karma and Upasana will lead to Jnana, but one who only follows karma and Upasana, they don't like Jnana aspect. So, whenever a Jnana path-based person makes a statement, these Purva Mimamsa followers, they will question it. So, any questioning that comes from the Purva Mimamsakas, that it is called as Purva Paksha. Usually it is objection. And then the one who is making statements on behalf of Vedanta, he is called as Siddhanta. Because those are the Siddhantas, means those are the statements that are made, those fundamental, like rules, theorems, etc. So he will do this objection handling. So you'll see a lot of Purva Paksha, and you'll see a lot of Purva Paksha Khandana, meaning objection handling. Now, in today's world, it's not like, okay, there are like bunch of Purva Pakshis are there, etc. Why do we care about it is that our own mind, when we are in a different situation, we become Purva Pakshi. Our own mind, when we are in a different situation, we become Vedanti. So that is the reason why we need to understand what are all possible things that can go wrong, or that can be misunderstood from any rules that are made. By the way, like these are the rules that were made by the author and the people who commented on this book. And that is passed through teacher to student parampara, Guru Shishya parampara, and our teacher taught about these rules. So now you have these three rules. Rule number one is seer is outside and seen is outside and seer is within. Seen number two, seen are manifold and seer is one. Third one is, even if there are changes outside and whatever you're seeing, the seer remains unimpacted or untouched. So keep this in mind. With that, we'll go to the shloka number 3. So before that, I want to pause and check if any of you have any questions based on what you heard so far.
When sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
Now, when we say that the seer and the seen, they keep changing, right? From then when they are changing, now like the manas is saying, the eyes are saying the manas is the seer, is it? That's how you take it? Okay. And then when it comes to the next phase, then there is a difference in the seer, right? It's not the manas all the time seeing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go ahead.
Eventually, then the seer is changing until it comes to that final one seer. Is that right? Am I taking it right?
That is correct, yes. So what happened is that whatever seers that are changing, they are relative seers, sapeksha. Whereas the final ultimate seer, which never becomes seen, is nirapeksha sakshi, nirapeksha druk. So now think about this way, right? We give an example in our Vedanta is that if you're watching a movie on a screen in a theater, the movie is changing and the screen on which the movie is being played is not impacted by the movie at all. Yes?
Mhm.
So in that case, what happened is that with respect to relatively, what is permanent and what is impermanent?
The
movie
screen is
screen is permanent, movie is impermanent, right? But this is relative. Now, what happens is that if you actually like go to like places like India, back at least when we were young, and in village movie theaters, you would see that screen was torn here and there all over. Okay, there's torn pieces on screen, especially on the sides, either on the top left, bottom right, like that. The screen is torn. So, because that screen is made up of cloth. So that screen is, they might, once in a while, they had to change the screen. However, the theater is permanent with respect to screen. So with respect to movie, the screen is permanent, but with respect to screen, I mean, with respect to the theater, screen you are changing every 5 years or every 2 years, whatever period, but you are not changing the building every few years. So again, there is a relative permanency is there. Relative permanency, which is compared to screen, theater is permanent. Now, if you go to your hometown now, none of the theaters that you have seen movies in, they don't exist anymore. Why? They are all demolished and something else was built there. So, with respect to Earth, none of those buildings are permanent. Is Earth permanent? With respect to, in terms of the universe creation, Earth is not permanent either. So what is that permanent? If you see from a permanency, you see that everything is relative permanency, and where is the final permanency go to? It goes to existence, the principle of existence. In the same way here, whereas that is going in terms of space, existence perspective, Sat perspective, here we are going from trying to identify from the Chit perspective. So where is the Chit? Who is the seer? So we are seeing from the outside to coming inside and inside. So everything before was Sapeksha or relative. And when it comes to the Sakshi, that is the permanent seer. Permanent Chaitanya. Does it help?
Mhm.
Satyaji, you had a question?
I think it is not a question. I was just reflecting about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like, for me, it seems like we are talking about awareness, consciousness, because, Sakshi is like, okay, so seeing is outside and the seer is within.
Yes.
Because I am aware of it. Because, like if I close my eyes, I cannot see, but if I open the eyes,
Yes.
so the mind is, yes, perceiving.
Mhm.
But if you ask me, but I don't know what is this awareness, but this seer, but I know that is that I'm seeing that. It's confusing. I don't know how to express it, but it's like there are many seen are many,
Mhm.
and the seer is one.
Yes.
But actually it's not a number, it's in another modality. I feel this is just because it's integrated, or it's because it's the same awareness, but it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So here, what is happening is the teacher here, Swami Vidyaranya Swami, what he's trying to do is that he's the teacher's way of teaching is that if you try to teach what you don't know, you will never know,
Right.
right? So what the teacher has to do is he should start from the point where you already know something,
Yes.
and from the known, he needs to take you to unknown. Right. So, for example, none of us, let us assume, I don't know if any one of you know, but like none of us here know Swahili. So, if the teacher comes and starts speaking in Swahili, with the intent of teaching you Swahili and doesn't speak any language, either not a single word in English, it is not going to help you. What does he need to say? Look, this is called a watch. This watch in Swahili is called whatever that thing. So there, what is he starting with? He's starting with a place where you know, and
Mhm.
he's taking you to unknown. So when I sit in my room and look around the room, I see hundreds of things.
Yes.
Right, all of us see hundreds of things, right? So there are some books are there, papers are there, my clothes are there. Luckily, you are the camera is faced this side, so you don't have to see. But all of them are here, but only one eye is what is seeing. So even though there are so many things, one eye is enough to see this. So then what he's saying, but the things that are coming through the right now we are only talking about seeing, but what about hearing? What about tasting? What about touching? What about smelling? All of them are experienced by one mind. Not only that, then it keeps on going, right? So like that, he is taking us one step at a time.
Okay. Thank you so much. I understand that.
Does this mean here the mind is changing?
We'll come to that.
Okay.
So right now, what Swamiji is doing is, he is talking about the, he's still in the first step only, between outside world and the eyes. He's going to cover that, and then so we are going to chant verse 3. In verse 4, he's going to talk about the nature of mind. Okay, so one of you go off mute, or whoever hasn't chanted before, and I will break down the words and we'll chant together. I'll start breaking down the words. The first word has 3 words, okay? Andhya, Mandya, Patutveshu. Andhya, Mandya, Patutveshu. Netra, Dharmeshu. Chaikatha is there. That is Cha, Ekatha. Remember, like I was telling, this Ekatha word will coming many times. So Cha plus Ekatha becomes Chaikatha. Sankalpa yen manaha. Sankalpa yen manaha. Shrotra tvak adau becomes Shrotra tvagadau. Yojyatam idam. Yojyatam idam. So that becomes Yojyatam idam. It is the breakdown of words. So please repeat after me. Andhya mandhya patutveshu.
Andhyamandhya patutveshu.
Netra dharmeshu chaikatha.
Netra dharmeshu chaikadha.
Sankalpayen manah. Sankalpayen manas.
Sankalpayen manaha.
Sorry. Sankalpayen manah shrotra.
Sankalpayen manah srotra.
Tvagadau yojyatamidam.
Tvagadau
Yojyatamidam.
yojyatamidam. Tvagadau yojyatamidam.
So now in this shloka, what is happening is this tat drishyam draktu manasam, he said, right? The seer has become seen. That is being detailed in, that portion is being detailed in this particular verse. So what it is saying is Andhya, Mandhya, Patutvam. So Andhya means blindness. Mandhya means dullness, meaning like especially when it comes to eyes, we're talking about sight. So for example, someone may have what your sight now plus 1.25 or plus 2.75 or whatever. Sometimes it will be minus also. So that is mandya. Meaning you have ability to see, but you need glasses in current day. But Back then, there were no glasses. So, Andhya, Mandya. Patutva. Patutva means you have sharp vision, which is like what is in modern term, what is it called? 20/20 vision, right? Andhya, Mandya, Patutveshu, Netra Dharmeshu. So all of these, right? This ability to see or inability to see or total blindness, all of that is, what is that? It is the function of Netra. Netra is, now here, see, remember, in earlier shloka, Netra is eyes. But in earlier shlokas, he used the word Lochanam. Here, now he is talking about eyes as a physical eye, not the Indriya eye. So that's why he has used a different term, Netra. So here, Andhya, Mandya, Patutva, these are the functions. Dharma. Dharma means it is a nature or function of these eyes, the physical eyes. Again, cha ekatha. But still, there is a this cha ekatha doesn't belong here. It goes with something else. Sankalpa. So now, manaha sankalpayet chekatha. So that is how we need to read the second section. So sankalpayen manaha is the first word, first samasta pada in second line. So from there we need to take manaha sankalpayen che ekatha. That is how we need to take. So what does that do? Even though there is all of these are there, they are the properties of eyes, we said, right? The ability to see or not seeing, etc. Now, mind, however, cognizes. What does it do? Mana sankalpayet cha ekatha. So based on the rule number 2, we read three rules, right? Based on the rule number 2, what happens? What was the rule number 2? Can someone read aloud?
In our memory, influence one.
Sorry?
Seen are many and seer is one.
Seen are many and seen is one. So you may have blind eyes, you may have best eyes, you may have problematic eyes, but the mind is one. So mind is able to recognize irrespective of the capabilities of the physical properties of the eyes. So that means that you don't need different mind for different eyes. Right? Now, rule number 3, what does rule number 3 says? Rule number 3 says?
While experiencing this manifold, seer remains untouched, sort of nirvikar, and does not undergo any changes.
So that means now by applying that, mind is not changing despite the changes in the properties of eyes. So just because physical eye has become blind, mind is not becoming blind. So physical eye is what you call like sharp, mind is not becoming sharp. These two are unrelated. Now, this should raise a question. What is the question? My mind, how can you say that my mind recognition capability remains same irrespective of my eyes? So the answer is, number 3 is mind is not changing despite the changes in the eyes. That is simple, right? Because our mind is not going to have like a different capability that is embedded or added just because we lose eyesight or anything like that. The mind remains mind. Now, whatever the eyes have recognized, that is captured by the mind. From that aspect, there is no change. From that aspect, there is no change. It is picking up everything that is giving by eyes, it is picking up. So from a reception perspective, it is same. For example, I have these headphones. Okay. So these headphones are there. Now these headphones, what happens with these headphones? This headphone has the ability to pick up my voice. Now, if I'm in a quiet area and I'm talking, it is only picking up my voice. Yes, we say like a lot of things. I mean, a lot of people advertise that, okay, noise reduction, blah, 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 all of that. But if I'm in noisy background, it still is going to pick up noise as well. So its capability is independent of whether I'm in quiet place or whether I'm in noisy place. You cannot judge its performance based upon where I am sitting. And whether if my voice is low, it will reflect that. If my voice is loud, it will reflect that. If I sing like a donkey, it will reflect that. If I sing like Kishore Kumar, it will reflect that, right? So this, what is it picking up is independent of my voice and my nature around. Because of that, even though the eyes are different, or eyes are this way or that way, the mind is not changing. Okay, so that is why this mind is uniform. Its ability of comprehension, despite in spite of the comprehension, it is uniform. That is manaha sankalpayecha ekatha shrotra tvagado yojatam idam. So now what the teacher is saying is, see, we are talking about Drg and Drsya Viveka, right? So just like what we are talking about this Drg Drsya Viveka with respect to seen and seer, that needs to be understood not just for seen and seer, but it should also be understood in the context of sound and hearer. It should be understood with respect to, that is Shrotra. Tvak means skin. Skin means touch. Okay. So touched and touch. With respect to, then that also means smelt and smeller. I don't know, smeller, I don't know if that is the right word. One who experiences the smell. Right? In the same way, taste and taster. So like that, it has to be understood from all these aspects. So the book is going to take us from only one, from the point of view of only one Jnanendriya, which is Drg, Drishya. So that is with respect to eyes alone. But we have 5 senses. It can be applied to all these 5 senses in the same manner. So that is what it is saying. Yes.
When you say that the mind, but each individual has his own mind. So there are multiple minds, isn't it? So then when there are multiple minds, the objects or the scene will be different for each of them. It will not be the same for the same person because there are multiple minds. So then the question will arise. Definitely there are different scenes or different objects, different experiences of each and every one. I don't know whether I'm making sense in my question.
Yeah, I know where you're going to. I was about to cover that in our next session, but I don't mind covering that.
No problem. Then we'll continue. No, this question popped in, so I was wondering. Okay.
So let's address right now, right? See, eventually the book is leading us to Ekatva. Advaitam Ekatvam. How do we come to that Advaita? Is basically what it is saying is, in the world, there are millions and gazillion things are there. And they're all experienced by the same set of eyes by me, with respect to me. Now, similarly, at the mind level, mind is experiencing not just from eyes, but it's also experiencing from Shrotra, Tvak, Rasana, Grahana also. Right? Shrotra means hearing, Tvak means touch, Rasana means taste, Grahana means smell, Drshya, Rupa means seen. Right? So now, it is experiencing through all of them, and it has got its own things. It has thoughts also to manage. Now, all of these 5 sense organs and all these thoughts, it is managed by one mind. So there, what happened from millions and billions of things that I see on a day-to-day basis to one eye, and different things I experience through different channels, right? Different channels means different sense organs that I experience, one mind. Now, one mind to one Sakshi. Why is there not multiple minds to one Sakshi? Many to one has come in the past. Why is it 1 to 1 now? Right? So, there, how many Atmas are there?
1.
1. Okay. So,
I mean, are you talking about the individual Atmas, each one having one Atma of their own?
so do each of us got our own Atma?
Yes.
Okay. If each one of us has got our Atma, what is that thing called? Is that called Atma?
No. But yeah, it is called Atma. Then there is that Paramatma.
Jivatma.
One which includes all.
What is now at the individual level is Jivatva. But there's only one Atma. Atma is Brahman. All of us don't have individual Atma. All we have is Jivatva.
Oh, Jivat.
Jivatva.
Jivatma, right? Jivat. What is Jivatma then? Jivatma we say. Jiva.
Atma. There's only one Atma. As in one Brahman, one Atma. When that is identified with a small upadhi, it becomes Jiva. Brahma Pratibimbam Jiva Nama. That's what we studied in Tattvabodha. Jiva Brahma Pratibimbam Bhavati, right? So it is reflection of Brahman in a small container is Jiva. Reflection of Brahman in the whole thing is, remember what it is? Identified with individual upadhi, if it is called Jiva, identified with everything, what is it called?
Maya.
Ishvara.
Ishvara.
Ishvara. So Jiva, but however, Jiva and Ishvara are not different from Brahman. It is like this. If there is ocean, in the ocean, there are 10 cups that fell at the bottom of the ocean. Let's say they're glass cups, so they're still standing. Now, there is water in these cups.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
There are 10. There's water in all the 10 cups. Yes.
Yes.
There is water in the ocean. Yes.
Yes.
So now, is the water in cup 1 and cup 2 are different? Meaning, is the water in cup 1 different from water in cup 2?
No.
But does it appear as different or not?
Yes, it does.
It does. Now, if the cup is broken, if those cups, both cups are broken, is there a difference between the water in cup 1 and cup 2?
No.
But when the cups are there, still there was no different. It was not different. Even when the cups are removed, it is not different. However, when the cups are there, it appeared as if the water in cup 1 is different from water from cup 2. In reality, all of that water is water of the ocean, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, the water in cup 1 is called as Jiva 1. Water in cup 2 is called as Jiva 2. And as many cups are there, that many number of Jivas are there. Now, this water as a whole in the ocean, the entire ocean is called as Ishvara. Even this ocean is subject to a particular size. Okay? It is big, the other is all part of it. So part of them, each of them is a Jiva. The whole of it as is Ishvara. However, what happened is, whether you take ocean, whether you take this small cup of water, whether you take a wave, whether you take a froth, whether you take a foam, different forms of water, okay? All of that, basic essence of that water is H2O water, right? That basic essence of water, which is independent of whether it is ocean size or cup size or the form of wave or just bottom of the ocean, that nature of that water H2O is Brahman. So from an absolute perspective, whether it's ocean size water or the cup water within that ocean, it is water alone. So that is Brahman. From the size perspective, one that is encompassing everything is Ishvara. One that is identified with small little things is Jiva. However, now what is Atma here is that water is Atma. So that Brahman is that Atma is that water identified, not identified with, that Brahman is neither identified with cup size nor identified with the ocean size. Okay. So now tell me how many Atmas are there?
One.
One. So how many Jivas are there?
Multiple.
Multiple. So does every Jiva has an Atma?
Yes.
So how many Atmas are there?
There's only one Atma, but the same Atma is in all the Jivas.
Is that part clear?
Mm-hmm.
Now, so how many minds are there?
Multiple.
Multiple. As many Jivas are there, that many minds are there. And how many Sakshis are there?
One.
Based on the, there's only one, but based on each individual, it will be multiple, right, Sakshi? Now, my Sakshi, like what I see and what you see could be totally different, right?
What you think you see is who is saying that what I see?
It's the Jiva in me. So Jivas are multiple.
So when you say what I see as Shobhaji is your Ahankara is saying that. Not in a bad way, okay?
No.
Okay, it is Ahankara that is saying that I am seeing. And Ahankara is taking a role that I am the seer. But Atma is not saying that. That Atma that is in you, which is the real seer, is the same as the Atma in me, which is the real seer. For Atma, these bodies come and go. And this Atma is never divided just because a physical body is there or a physical body is not there.
Okay.
Okay. So that's from a Sakshi perspective, For across all jivas, there is only one Sakshi. Okay. This is something that I wanted to actually cover in the next session, but we covered today, which is fine. It was part of it anyway. We did a little bit out of order, but this is an important aspect. It is not just answering Shobhaji's question. So this is essentially like I was planning to do it anyway in the next session or the session after that. So, okay. So now what is happening is now, again, let me summarize the big picture. From a simple perspective, okay? So not from a advanced Vedantins like you guys who are here, is I see so many things outside world as a jiva. For all these things, one eye means one faculty of vision is enough. Now, similarly, I experience not just through the faculty of vision, but other channels of sense organs also. All of them are experienced by, are perceived by one mind. Across each jiva, there is a mind, and across all these minds, whatever is experienced, that is actually witnessed by one Sakshi. That is the Sakshi that we are trying to understand, analyze. Now, the teacher, on the other hand, he has written the book for a lot of people, whether they have beginner's knowledge of Vedanta or advanced knowledge of Vedanta also. So he has given a little bit, he was a little bit more compassionate, and he has given a little bit more number of shlokas. We'll go through those. And as we go through them, we are going to understand, we'll have probably bring more points out and then have more questions and address them accordingly. So before we close, are there any questions? Final questions?
It'll come tomorrow, next class.
Okay. So then, yeah. So in case if you have any questions later at any point of time, maybe you remember tomorrow morning or anything, just send me a message and I'll respond to you right away. And then I'll also address them in the next section for others' benefit also. Shall we close them?
Thank you.
Yeah, by the way. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ